Hey, what's up? Jared again here with my final mock draft. Um, this is going to be strictly what I would do if I was the GM of each team. So, with the very first pick, I would go ahead and take Sam Darnold. I think he's the safest choice. I think he's someone you can develop over a year in Cleveland. And let's see if we can finally make it happen for Cleveland. Two, I've got the Giants taking Josh Rosen. Yeah, Saquon Barkley is a phenomenal athlete, but I think with the number two spot, it's just way too valuable to go and not draft a quarterback here, especially with Eli Manning becoming just getting older and closer to the retirement. I've got the Jets taking Baker Mayfield. This guy's my favorite quarterback in the draft. I think I don't know. I think it's going to be either boom or bust in New York Jets for the New York Jets with this guy, but I think he's got the potential to do really well. And you traded to move up, and you're not going to trade to move up and get Josh Rosen. Like otherwise, there's something wrong with you. Here I got Cleveland taking Saquon Barkley. I think they're going to get a lot of trade offers here, but I think they should just stick with it and go with the sure thing in Saquon Barkley to really change the face of your offense here. Here I've got the Denver Broncos selecting Bradley Chubb. I think the Broncos need to go back to what they were good at, which was defense, pass rush, and a great bunch of great defensive backs in the backfield. Here I've got the Indianapolis Colts taking Raekwon Smith. Yes, I know Quentin Nelson is on the board, but I'm doing this in 2 rounds, so I've got them taking Raekwon Smith here and gonna get some offensive line help in the 2nd round here. I'm gonna have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking Quentin Nelson, strictly on best player available, and just trying to help out that offense. I have the Chicago Bears taking Tremaine Edmonds here. Another really great linebacker. The depth of linebacker isn't that big this year, and I think that other needs like defensive backs or wide receivers, whatever they want to do, they can get in the 2nd round here. I have the San Francisco 49ers taking Derwin James to bolster that secondary. I now have my first trade alert. I've got the Buffalo Bills trading with Oakland to go up 2 spots and grab Josh Allen. And I don't like Josh Allen. I don't think he's going to be a good quarterback. I could be wrong. I can see the potential there, but I just don't see it. I just think he's too inaccurate and he's going to make too many mistakes. But yeah, Oakland's going to receive the 53rd overall pick this year as well, just to fall back 2 spots on a guy that they're not going to take. Good job, Oakland. I now have the Miami Dolphins selecting Denzel Ward. They know what they're doing when it comes to facing the Patriots. They're playing strict man-to-man coverage, and I think they should just continue that because they won a game and maybe win a couple more that way. And then I have the Oakland Raiders selecting Minkah Fitzpatrick. This guy is just such a special talent. He doesn't have a clear spot of what he's going to play, whether it's outside, nickel, or safety. But there's a lot of different things you can do with him. I then have the Washington Redskins here selecting Josh Jackson. I want a really good corner to play opposite Josh Norman because that Eagles team is really tough to beat, and you're going to need some good corners there in Washington to beat them. I have the Green Bay Packers selecting Marcus Davenport. He's a terrific edge rusher. I think I don't think they'll regret this one. Get after the quarterback, help out that secondary by applying pass rush. I then have the Arizona Cardinals selecting Lamar Jackson here. I don't think this is really a gamble, really, all that much. You're not giving up anything for him. He's a better quarterback than Josh Allen, if you ask me. If you ask analysts, they're going to tell you wrong, but because they were so right about Johnny Manziel too, but that's a different story. I now have the Baltimore Ravens selecting Isaiah Wynn. I am tired of seeing all these drafts of Calvin Ridley going there. I get it makes sense, but let's focus on that offensive line and maybe get a wide receiver in the 2nd round. I have the LA Chargers selecting Vita Vea. There's a hole in their defensive line, and Vita Vea is going to fill it, and he's going to help out that defense. And My bold prediction is the Chargers to win that. I don't even know if it's really bold, but to win that division this year. I then have Seattle taking Mike McGlinchey. I want offensive line for Seattle really badly. I know they lost a lot of defensive pieces, but Mike McGlinchey is going to help out Russell Wilson, and more importantly, it's going to help out that running game that was just like non-existent last year. I now have the Buffalo Bills trading up to number 19 from Dallas here to go ahead and select Harold Landry. This is a guy that's going to be able to put some pressure on Tom Brady, and he's very good coverage for a defensive end too. So he's going to be able to get after people like James White if they're going to pull some screenplays. I have the Detroit Lions taking Daron Payne. Just the talent's too good to pass up on a need they need there. I have the Cincinnati Bengals here next, selecting Connor Williams. I was thinking about going Will Hernandez here, but Connor Williams can play tackle or guard, so I think that versatility is going to help him out long-term wise rather than just this year, because they're in rebuilding mode. Let's not lie to ourselves. I now have the Dallas Cowboys selecting Isaiah Oliver, the corner out of Colorado. Yeah, I really would like them to have DJ Moore here, but I just feel like the cornerback depth in this draft is not as good as the wide receiver depth. I have New England now taking Mike Hughes. They did not have Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl last year, and that really hurt them. So let's get a corner here while there's still value. I've got the Carolina Panthers selecting Courtland Sutton. He is my second best wide receiver I have graded on my big board. I think he's going to be able to open up some holes for the wide receivers. So people like Curtis Samuel and what's his name? Devin Funchess can get open and not get double teamed as much. The Tennessee Titans selecting Leighton Vander Esch just to help out their defense a little more. I now have the Atlanta Falcons selecting James Daniels. I actually really, really love this pick. I think this guy is super underrated. I think he might be one of the safest guards other than Quentin Nelson in this draft. Will Hernandez, Isaiah Wynn, you don't really know exactly what position they're going to play, but I think it's pretty straightforward. He's either going to be the center or one of the guards, and he plays terrifically at both. I now have the Indianapolis Colts trading up to go ahead and grab Will Hernandez. And they're going to trade with the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints are going to get their 36th pick, their 67th pick, and their 131st pick all this year for them to go up and get Will Hernandez because they need offensive linemen and they need good ones to help protect Andrew Luck and get that running game going. I've got the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting Rashaan Evans here. You don't have Ryan Shazier. He's the next best linebacker that you can draft here. I got Jacksonville Jaguars selecting Rashaan Evans here. DJ Moore. You don't have Allen Hurns. You don't have Allen Robinson. Yeah, you got Marquise Lee. Allen Robinson was pretty much banged up last year, and he still did good. Get DJ Moore. He's my top-rated wide receiver, and he's going to be like Stephon Diggs but bigger for you guys. And I think you guys can compete with the Patriots this year if you draft this guy. The Giants. I have the Giants trading up with Minnesota here to go up and get Darius Geis. They passed on Saquon Barkley, which sucks, but they need a quarterback of the future more importantly than the best player in the draft. And Darius Geis is still a great player, and I think he's going to help out that offense a lot. I got New England here selecting Colton Miller. He's probably my last top tier left or right tackle in the draft here. So don't have Nate Soldier. Let's go ahead and grab Colton Miller here. See what you can do. The last pick here, I have Philadelphia Eagles taking Sony Michel. And this guy just screams Kareem Hunt to me. I think he might not be as productive, but I think he's going to be able to do so much for the Eagles in their running game. They still have Jay Ajayi, but I don't know. That guy's just too inconsistent. I now have Cleveland selecting for the first pick in the second round, Jair Alexander. Go ahead, get your corner. You need a defensive back. Get it now while they're still on the board. I have my Minnesota Vikings here selecting Dante Jackson. And, Yeah, sorry about the trade alert. I didn't say it, but they're also going to get a third-round pick for the Giants in 2019 with that pick. Dante Jackson, I think he's the best nickel corner in this draft. Which when we were playing the Saints last year, we had Xavier Rhodes go out and Terrence Newman had to step in for a little while, and that Drew Brees found our weakness right there. If Dante Jackson plays, he can start at nickel. If Trey Waynes or Xavier Rhodes gets hurt, then Dante Jackson can step in, play outside corner. We still have Mackenzie Alexander who can slide into nickel. I've got the Cleveland Browns here selecting Lorenzo Carter to help out Myles Garrett on that pass rush. I then have the New Orleans Saints taking the first tight end in Dallas Goedert. I'm not really a fan of drafting tight ends high, but something about this guy, I think he's going to be a really good tight end in this league, and I think it's worth it to take him here. I have the Indianapolis Colts selecting Carlton Davis. He's probably my last cornerback in this tier that's has potential to be a day one starter and do really well in the league. I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Justin Reed. I really like this guy. I think he's a really smart, good player. And weren't able to get Derwin James in the first, so go ahead and get Justin Reed here. I've got Chicago taking Calvin Ridley here. And a lot of people are probably going to give me hate for having Calvin Ridley slide this fall. But this is just where I had him end up. I think Allen Robinson's a great addition to your team, but with Calvin Ridley on the other side, it's just another weapon for Mitchell Trubisky to see how good he actually is. I have the Denver Broncos selecting Billy Price here. We drafted a guy named Pat Elflein last year for the Minnesota Vikings, and he was able to play guard and center both very well, and I think Billy Price can do the same thing for the Denver Broncos. I have the Oakland Raiders selecting Ronald Jones. I just don't see John Gruden passing up on a running back here, and he's my best one available I have right here. I have my Miami Dolphins taking Taven Bryan. You lose Ndamukong Suh, and let's fill that need with Taven Bryan. He's a very good player. I've got New England Patriots selecting Sam Hubbard here. They needed this as well, pass rush. Nick Foles was able to throw for 400 some yards, just nuts. Go ahead and get Sam Hubbard and help out your defense. I have the Washington Redskins here selecting Maurice Hurst, play next to Jonathan Allen, and just keep bolstering that defense. I've got the Green Bay Packers here selecting DJ Chark. Randall Cobb, I don't think he's all that great. I actually do like Devontae Adams, but you don't have Jordy Nelson anymore. Go ahead and take DJ Chark. He's a pretty decent wide receiver. Cincinnati, I have them taking Harrison Phillips here, help out their defensive line. Yeah, that's about it. Arizona Cardinals, I'm going to have them take Orlando Brown to help out Lamar Jackson, Sam Bradford, whoever they got to defend, and also David Johnson as well. I've got the LA Chargers selecting Ronnie Harrison here. They need help in the secondary with the safety to take some pressure off the cornerbacks for some double coverage here. Got the Indianapolis Colts selecting Nick Chubb. We haven't seen a running back very good in Indianapolis in a long time, and I think Nick Chubb can change that. Got the Dallas Cowboys selecting Deshaun Hamilton, and I think this guy is the best route runner in the draft, not the best wide receiver, but as far as his routes go, he's going to be able to help spread the ball, get T.Y. Hilton open, get Jack Doyle open, and just help out Andrew Luck. I got the Detroit Lions selecting Rashad Penny here. Please move on from Amir Abdullah. Please keep Theo Riddick, keep LeGarrette Blount, draft Rashad Penny, and see what you can do on that offense this year with an actual good running back. I have the Baltimore Ravens selecting, I hope I'm saying this right, Equanimeous St. Michael. Just a wide receiver that can help him out. Think he'll be great for that team. Got the Oakland Raiders here who have that pick from Buffalo now selecting Brian O'Neill. Donald Penn is on his last year. Don't really redshirt Brian O'Neill this year, and come back next year ready with Brian O'Neill to replace him. I've got Kansas City selecting Ogbonia Araknakwo. Just another pass rush to help out that defense. Of the Carolina Panthers here selecting Arden Key. You got your weapon in the first round. Go ahead and get a seriously good guy. He's got some character issues, but I don't think it's too risky to take him here. I now have the Jacksonville Jaguars trading up from the Buffalo Bills, and Jacksonville is going to receive a 2019 fourth round pick and a 2019 fifth round pick with this for them to go ahead and select Mason Rudolph. Could redshirt him here this year, get rid of Blake Bortles, have him ready to play next year. I then have Tennessee selecting Tim Settle. They weren't able to get Taven Bryan in the first round, but you're able to get Tim Settle here and just help out your defense. That was Tennessee that took Tim Settle, which is good because I think their offense is good. Defense is what they should focus on. I've got the Atlanta Falcons selecting Christian Kirk is who it was. I think this guy is really going to help out Julio Jones and open up that run game. He's very comfortable in the slot where you can put Sanu and Jones on the outside, and he'll be an upgrade over Taylor Gabriel. I have the San Francisco 49ers selecting James Washington. A lot of wide receivers in this second round. He's just going to be able to help out Jimmy Garoppolo. Then have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting Kyle Lauletta here. And I think it's going to be a really good fit for them in the future. It's not too much to give up in the second round, so go for it. Let's see. Next, I have the Buffalo Bills selecting Anthony Miller. You need a wide receiver to help out this Josh Allen guy, and he's the best one I have available here. So I've got the Minnesota Vikings back on here. Going to go ahead and take Frank Ragnow. I think he can do something similar to Pat Elflein here. That's why I didn't have him draft a guard in the first round. Yeah, Frank Ragnow could go before, but I think Dante Jackson had a way better chance of going before Frank Ragnow. And if you're worried, we can trade up too. It's not too big of a deal. I have the New England Patriots here selecting Luke Falk. This guy will redshirt a couple years. They won't have the fifth-year option, but I think in 2 or 3 years he'll be ready to play for New England and learn a lot behind Tom Brady. And then I have Cleveland here taking Braden Smith. They have yet to get a offensive lineman in this draft. I think he's the best one available on the board right here. Go ahead and take it. That's my final mock draft. Comment and let me know what you think.